You know that famous stat with the Premier League that despite all of the fact that it's set in England, not one English manager has ever won the Premier League. And it does ask the question, why do we suck? And the most glaring examples of recent English managers that's had semi-decent jobs in the English leagues, the ones with the big names at least, are Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, and Wayne Rooney. I did a video about 8 months ago about the time that Rooney had at Birmingham City, something that felt just not really right. And he has tried time and time again to get back into football management after his semi-decent time at Derby County, despite awful circumstances, his random trip away to MLS for DC United, and then Birmingham City, and now Plymouth Argyle. And he's now been sent out the door yet again. The one thing I will say is that despite him now leaving the club, it has been on mutual terms. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it means that he isn't owed a compensation fee for the premature termination of his contract, saving Argyle a ton of money, which at least there's that to go his way, that he's not put them in a bigger hole than they already are clearly in. Even when Rooney joined Argyle in the summer, it seemed like an odd choice for a team that only just narrowly scraped survival on the final day against Hull City, and a squad which is, by really every aspect, not just the squad, but also with the finances available, is a team punching above their weight to compete with many championship clubs. No matter who they would bring in, a manager, experienced or not, it would be a difficult challenge. So for Rooney to take this job was a massive risk for him. And if it was a job that he could succeed and get some moderate success with, then it would be somewhat of a coup for his CV. Sadly, the inevitable happened. As it stands, Argyle are currently bottom of the championship, to no surprise of many people, and the worst part of it is by far their goals conceded and their goal difference. By goal difference, they are worst by -29. Keep in mind we're halfway through the year, so that's a big gap. But the worst part is the gap between them, the worst, and the second worst is a whopping 13 goals between -29 and -16, which you may be surprised is Luton Town. They are miles ahead to the next team that has conceded the most goals in 23rd, which is 42 goals by, again, Luton Town. I think the worst part by far is their away form. With their away form is, I mean, if you know Pieface, right? I'm sure you know who Pieface is. A very commonly known Argyle supporter, goes home and away, but away every single game. He still goes every away game, right? Guess how many goals he celebrated for Argyle this entire season on away games. Keep in mind, Argyle is at the bottom of the country pretty much, so every away game is a long trip. Guess how many goals he's seen them celebrate? 3. Three goals. 3 goals. And they've conceded 35. That's ridiculous. 2 draws and 11 wins in 13 games. Then the last time he's seen Argyle score a goal away from home is over a month ago away at Norwich when they lost 6-1. So what happened? Tell me down below your thoughts, and I hope you had a happy new year, had a good time, and we're back rolling for the new year. Of course, comment down below, like, subscribe, and Mazola Designs for the best football prints all made by myself. Of course, Argyle prints on the site as well. Got, 10 prints there. Code Mazola for 12% off all items. Now, the main difference between, let's say, a Wayne Rooney and a Frank Lampard in terms of the general being a great player does not make you a great manager phrase you hear a lot. The difference is with Rooney is that he's got a certain personality, and his common off-field activities seems to make a lot more of the noise in the media than anything else. And the thing is with Rooney is that he does come across as a guy which you want to like. He comes across like just any normal guy, and that's because he is. If you've not seen my documentary I did about Wayne Rooney about almost 2 years ago now, go and check it out. His upbringing, the way that he's raised, and even how he was as a footballer day to day. He is a street footballer. He's got a authentic, raw personality, and that never changed for the entirety of his football career. And in management, he's still the same. When he first joined Plymouth, he made jokes about the fact that he's moved down south and he's moved to Plymouth. He's integrated into the community, and that he's even sold to his wife Colleen that the Plymouth is the Monaco of England, basically, and that he was often found in the local area just walking around and just chilling around in Plymouth, often even in pubs, singing karaoke. He found a clip here from August 29th in Plymouth, just on the beers inside a local pub, singing Ed Sheeran, The Shape of You. Noise, baby. At times doing Q&A sessions with the fans, and again, it makes you want to like him and you want to see him succeed. So why has it not worked out? Well, Argyle's been battered a lot this year. Their biggest one sits on away at Norwich with the quotes by Rooney. I could probably put the under-18 team out there and they wouldn't concede 6 goals. Their away form has been atrocious, being battered on a consistent basis. The worst probably is 5-0 away to, no, not Sheffield United and not Sunderland, no, Cardiff. Cardiff, mate. 4-0 away at Coventry, 4-0 away at Bristol City, 6-1 away at Norwich, 3-0 away at Leeds, 5-0 away at Plymouth, 4-0 away at Sheffield Wednesday. If you get battered once every now and then, like twice a season, you can maybe get away with being completely just trumped off the park. But this was a reoccurring thing. I guess the problem is that when the going gets tough, you can see the energy come out of a manager when they know that their time is nearly coming to an end. And this seems to happen a lot with Rooney, and the same thing happened with him at Birmingham City, where in the last couple of weeks and months, when you get that feeling that you're losing the love from the fans, he starts feeling the same way to them in the club too. Insiders from Plymouth Argyle coming out to journalists saying that they feel like Rooney has been drifting away from the job for the last 2 months now. Small little droplets of not showing up or delaying things or cancelling on things short notice and not putting your full effort into it, it adds up. For example, in November, a round of interviews with journalists that was made to reveal how Rooney was working and embracing life in the new city was cancelled on short notice. A surprise visit by Wayne Rooney to a local primary school in Plymouth was also pulled at the last moment on the same day. Wayne Rooney also missed at least one training session this season, and according to multiple sources, it was due to him being unwell. But sometimes it's hard to believe that when there's at times he's doing multiple interviews for, let's say, The Overlap on Sky Sports or with other publications on the BBC, and it kind of adds up to make you think that he's got maybe other little side things that can maybe not put his full attention onto his job in management. When he's Wayne Rooney and he's got multiple other media sources wanting him for things, documentaries, Netflix, whatever he's doing his little bits and bats for, can you put your full attention, your everything into management? I don't think you can. And because management is not a sure thing for him, and especially when it's not going well, he probably is not gonna enjoy it. You can see why he may just get one eye on maybe his future, because he may see him out of a job pretty soon. And one main issue of him being a guy that's known for being around the community, going to pubs, singing karaoke, is that that's really well and good, and it comes across as you being a down-to-earth guy, and it's just like every normal guy, because there's always a gap between managers and footballers. You feel like footballers and managers, they're different people to you and I. Like the idea of just finding them in the street is just an impossibility. But there he is, Wayne Rooney, singing Come By All My Lord in a local pub. But the issue is when you're not doing well, when a manager is out drinking with the fans, it comes across as, why aren't you doing the job, mate? Have you seen the results? And Rooney's trips to pubs and bars in the city that at first was seen as a very good sign, then was held against him, especially when he's had these times coming out speaking about his struggles with alcohol, saying to the Mail on Sunday that he regularly went on secret 2-day drinking binges at home as he struggled with the pressures of fame and being just judged no matter what he does wherever he goes. Photos of him drinking at a student pub near the city's university in the summer as well. And keep in mind, there's his wife Colleen, with other dramas going on with her as well. There's even a Disney Plus show about her called Colleen Rooney, The Real Wagatha Story. I wouldn't recommend watching it. And then allegations comes out. You've probably seen the allegations of Wayne Rooney in the past about him having, maybe some interesting images or videos near a woman. An allegation came out recently in a video posted online of Rooney letting a woman into his Plymouth apartment, posting a statement on Instagram denying any inappropriate behaviour, saying that the footage has been taken out of context. And that is one problem with Rooney and why he may feel pressure of, being who he is, because that could just be a situation where it's taken out of context, where, according to him, it was a man and a woman coming over to see his apartment when his son was there. And of course, articles online may actually put that out of context and not show the rest of the clip. And that is a common thing you find in media. According to a few of the Plymouth Argyle players, the atmosphere of the club was incredibly low, with players eager for a change, as they did not feel like Rooney was doing enough to change things and show them up defensively away from home. And sometimes when you hear this, it feels like this may not be completely accurate, because Plymouth Argyle has been known for scoring quite a few late goals and coming back into games and making some big comebacks. Some big dramatic wins at home to Sunderland, to Blackburn Rovers, who are high up on the table right now, and some pretty good comebacks against Preston at home and also Watford as well. They've had times where they could have easily crumbled if the morale was that bad, and yet they still didn't. Now, of course, as always, there were injuries, some key injuries to the captain Joe Edwards, to the goalkeeper Connor Hazard, and to the main attacking talisman of the squad, Morgan Whittaker. It's hard to miss a player that last year scored over 15 goals for the club, and they still almost went down. Missing him is, of course, a big loss. So what does this make Rooney now? Is he just a big name to get maybe some fans excited for about a week, and then when they realise that nothing really changes, just to, ship him away? A big name that they can maybe get some new little sponsorships and media deals. For example, with this case with Wayne Rooney, there's coincidentally a documentary made that was announced back in November. Mid-November, Rooney's time at the club is subject to be a documentary, which would maybe drum up interest in the club by just a wider fan base or just the public, and that it shows the cameras of Rooney behind the scenes and on and off the pitch. I don't know what's going to happen with that one now. Comment down below your thoughts on Wayne Rooney. Do you think it's worth for him to be a manager again? Maybe he should take a drop to maybe League 1, League 2, and see maybe how that can go for him. Similar to perhaps his footballing career, Rooney has always had these battles with perhaps his self-discipline and having a high profile. And being a manager is definitely not an occupation which can handle that. So maybe time will tell. Comment down below your thoughts, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.